welcome to Preppy, where we revolutionize how you prepare for IELTS. I have Palak Verma, another brilliant candidate that we had with us. And over to you, Palak. Could you please share your story, your scores, and introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I am Palak. I am a working professional. I am an assistant professor and I have been preparing for IELTS since 2019. And to be honest, this was my sixth attempt. And I am very happy and glad that I actually got my desired result, which is 8.5 band in total. So I started with Preppy classes in July. After, there was a free webinar with Harit sir about writing classes. Thereafter, I joined that free webinar and I was so impressed because the things that were taught in those webinar or said in those webinar were actually something I didn't know. Till my fifth attempt, I didn't know about all those things. So that thing really stuck, that thing really hit me that I think I should, go ahead with these classes. So I consulted Parul ma'am and then joined the, whatever the next batch was available. And I consistently took classes for almost 40 days, which is the actually course about. And Preppy was very generous to me because I had my attempt, very near. So they said you can join both the classes, like both the sessions, 7:30 batch also and 10:30 batch also. So I, in my end days, I joined both the sessions also, and that really helped me.
All right, that's great. You have just told us the overall score. I would love you to tell us each and every score for every module. So, how much did you score in listening?
Listening was 8.5, reading was 9.
Okay.
And then writing was 7.5 and speaking was 8.
So that's an
So overall it
incredible
was
score.
8.5.
That's an incredible score. Congratulations. And a perfect 9 in reading, 8 in speaking, and 7.5 in writing. Amazing. I mean, I have no words to explain how happy I am for you. So I now want you to tell the strategy for each and every module to the students, to the viewers of our YouTube channel. So go ahead, pick one at a time and let us know how did you prepare.
So I'll start with listening. So when I started with the listening, my band was 6.5. I realized there is no strategy or there is nothing that you can do with this. All you have to do is just practice. Listening is all about practice, I believe. And once you get on with the listening thing, then obviously you can score well. So to be honest, in these 2 years, I have almost completed 100 plus papers for listening itself. And that was the time. Yes, there is no book as book Cambridge book that I haven't completed, and there is no Cambridge book that I haven't completed for reading also. But what happened with me in reading was that I was facing a lot of difficulties. But when I joined Preppy classes, so I got to learn a lot of strategies. For example, you have different strategies for different type of questions. Let's take multiple choice questions. So I believe for me, the strategy that worked was elimination strategy. Eliminate the wrong answers, and then the right answer is going to be the correct answer. True, false, not given. It was, sometimes very difficult for me to mark the right answer. But then after these classes, I learned about actually what is not given and the difference between not given and false, which most of us, face a lot of difficulties in this. So reading was perfect when I joined Preppy. And, with practice, I learned the strategies also in my mind. Then let's talk about writing. Writing was the only module and the only reason for me to join the classes. So my band was stuck with 6. I couldn't even, I couldn't even come to 6.5. I did not know the reasons why. In schools, I am from ICSE board. I thought my English was great. I really thought that. And, writing an essay and letter was just, very simple for me. I thought that, but till my fifth attempt, I couldn't, understand the reason also why am I facing these difficulties. After joining Preppy and, seeing that chart wherein you are evaluated on what basis. That time I understood, okay, this is the reason where I was lacking, and this is the point where I should improve. So I really wanted a feedback on my writings. So what happens in Preppy is you have a particular classroom and you get assignments there, and you need to upload your assignments, and a feedback is given personally. So you won't imagine, to be honest, I appeared for all the assignments that were given to me in those 1 month, and I got a feedback within 1 to 2 days. And after receiving the feedback, I actually got my eyes open. Okay, fine, my grammar is not that great, my coherence thing is not great. I need to work on my vocabulary, and there were few collocations also that need to be done. And I particularly believe that all these things needs to be improved. So there was no option with me but to, practice and get a feedback. Now if you appear for any other coaching or something, maximum feedback that you can get on any essay or letter is going to be 2 or 3, which is also paid, I believe. And Prepiv is one such institute or one such classes. Trust me, guys, that you won't believe that in 1 month you can at least get 6 to 7 feedbacks on your essays or letters, or even more than that. I mean, the trainers are so helpful, and each and everything. I requested, I think, one trainer also to give me a band score. I got a band score from Preppy also 6.5. I was shattered that time. I'm still on 6.5. Then I worked again. I sent another feedback, then another thing, and it worked for me in short. And at the end of the day, my exam was scheduled for 12th August. Till 11th August, I was confident enough that I have understood the strategies. I know what to write in the essays, because sometimes what happens is during the preppy classes also, I appeared for I appeared twice for writing, in 7:30 batch also and 10:30
like
batch
that.
also.
Okay.
For classes, I'm saying.
Right.
And I have appeared for your writing classes, letter writing classes.
Okay. At 10:30.
And Yogita ma'am's yes, 10:30. And Yogita ma'am's also writing, letter writing and essay classes. So I actually understood the strategies, because you write the essay in the class, right? Which really helps. You actually ask students to give ideas for the writing also. That really helped. To be honest, I thought in the starting that, a group study won't be helpful. I thought of appearing for one-to-one classes, but then I said, okay, let's just go for
Right.
group study. Let's see, let's try this. But that actually, to my surprise, helped me a lot. So writing was this. And when it comes to speaking, I, to be honest, only attended the speaking classes. I did not even appear for mock, because I have already appeared 5 times for mock, not mock, real tests. So
Yeah.
I thought that let's just concentrate on writing first, because that was the module where I was lacking a lot.
Yeah.
So these were my basic strategies, and I feel to crack IELTS, we need to practice. And the most important thing, practice is okay. You are doing wrong, that is okay. But you need to understand why that point is wrong, why those questions are wrong for you. And when it comes to writing, you need to have a feedback. If you don't go for feedbacks, you will never ever get to know where you were lacking, or where you will, where you can improve. Because as per you have written something and nobody is checking, so you don't even know where you stand. So that is important.
Absolutely right. So I'll just sum up whatever she said, and I'll also kind of reply in between, starting with listening. So Palak mentioned that she was kind of stuck at 6.5, or that was her score in the very first attempt for listening. And then she decided to practice, and she's practiced about hundreds of tests, or like 100 listening tests. See, whatever works for you is fine. I am not saying that this was wrong, but you don't have to practice that many tests. That is the thing I want to put in your heads, because the ones who are watching, don't get demotivated or don't get panicky right now listening to her that, oh my God, I'll have to complete 100 tests or I'll have to practice 100 tests. That's not the case. It's just that after you have completed one listening test, instead of going to the next listening test, wait, see what all questions you have answered incorrectly. Just pick those questions up. Okay, and then focus on strategizing better for those questions and performing in a different way. So approaching in a different way. If you practice 10 tests, 10 listening tests or 100 listening tests also, and you're practicing in the same manner, you're approaching each and every question in the same manner, then obviously if it was incorrect in the first test, it will be incorrect in the second and the third test also, because the strategy or the approach is not correct. It's not working out in your favor. So instead of practicing a lot of tests, figure out the weak areas in your listening test or even in your reading test and try to change your approach towards that kind of question. Seek help from YouTube videos or from any trained professional and ask them, how can I work it through? For example, in case of reading, Palak mentioned that she started approaching MCQ questions through elimination method. So if she was not aware of that, instead of looking for the right answer out of the four options, it's better that you start eliminating the incorrect ones. Then whatever you're left with would be the right answer. So I always tell students, even in the latest class, like a week ago, I remember I was discussing match the headings. There also, instead of looking for the right heading, eliminate the incorrect ones. You'll automatically narrow down the options to 2 or 3, and then you'll be able to pick up the right answer. So that's the approach that you have to follow. So instead of running after completing n number of tests, let's say 50, 100, 10, 20, focus on improving after each and every test. Even if you're scoring 22 in the first test, try to attempt the next test in such a way that you at least reach 25 or 30. So that should be the approach. So instead of focusing on just taking the test and practicing, focus on improving, how you can improve your scores by changing your strategies or preparation style. Okay, that was for listening and reading. Moving on to writing. Writing, again, the same strategy applies. She has beautifully summed up everything, that feedback is really important. Certain students come up to me and say that I've practiced 50 essays and 50 letters. I'm like, practicing is one thing. Did you get the feedback on it? Did you listen to the trainer, or did you listen to a trained professional, and did it guide you that these are incorrect, or this is how you have to improve your writing? These are the 4 parameters. This is where you're falling short. So on and so forth. So if you've not done that, those 50 essays or letters will not help you out in any way. They're not going to, they're not going to lead you to 8 band or 7 band scores anyway. So you have to focus on submitting one set of writing, get the feedback on that, learn from that feedback, not make the same mistakes over and over again before you write your second set of writing or your second practice test. So thank you for bringing this out in the open, that feedback is really important. It's not the number of writings, it's the feedback, and also learning from the feedback and implementing that feedback in the next writing and not making the same mistakes over and over again. So perfectly fine. And speaking, any tips that you want to give for speaking?
For speaking, I believe that what I learned from PrepEve also, because since I attended all the classes, you need to be, you need to understand the point of view of examiner also. He's there to listen to you. Okay, so you need to speak there. Just don't, if they are asking what is your name, just don't say Palak Verma is my name. Just say, my name is Palak Verma, you can call me Palak. So that ways, you need to speak there. For example, they are asking you, what do you do? So just don't say that I am an assistant professor. Complete it. I take law classes and everything like that. I believe that you need to be clear with your communication and elaborative enough to make the trainer understand what you're trying to say. So English, basically they are judging your English there. How do you speak? If you go to Canada, if you go to any other university, will you be able to speak with our locals or not? That is just the point of view. So that is how I think speaking should be done. And when it comes to section 2, there were few strategies that were given, which I won't say that loud, but then you need to understand that there was a proper strategy which was given by our trainer. So I think that that is something, private also, and I won't say that.
You can share it, not an issue from my end.
that was past, present, and future strategy
Yeah.
that was given in
Yeah.
speaking. So I believe that that was really important, and it really helped me. Trust me. Fetching. You sometimes we are stuck with after speaking 2-3 lines, we are stuck with it. You just have to speak for 2 minutes, but still, I have
You go
been
blank.
facing. Yes, we go blank about it, but if you apply the strategy, obviously you get a lot of content then. So it really helped. Trust me, it really helped.
Okay, great, great. That's really nice. Now I want you to tell me whether you have taken the paper-based test or computer-delivered test.
Okay, so I'll tell you. I started with CBD. My first 3 attempts were computer based, and last 3 were pen and paper. Now, the reason why I chose this, first of all, when you take computer based test, once you complete the listening test, you get 2 minutes to check your answers and everything. Whereas when it comes to paper based, there you get 10 minutes more. So if you have something in your mind, you may change your answers, check the spellings once and everything. So that was a difference. Reading also, same thing applies. There's no extra time given, but then it completely depends on the person. Now, the problem that I faced was in writing. I was much comfortable in writing while CBD because you can edit things there, delete, and everything. When it comes to pen and paper, here you will have to erase everything. So that wastes a lot of time, and you may not, this time also it happened with me. I wanted to change few words and few lines in my introduction, but then I couldn't erase it because there was no space and it would have been a haphazard there, and I wanted to avoid it, in short. So computer based is really good for those who are hands on computer, whereas pen and paper, I believe, you save a lot of time. And to be honest, if you start practicing also, you won't make those mistakes of going back and erasing things and everything. If you are prepared enough, you will just go with the flow and complete it. So it completely depends on the person to person. I was good with pen and paper, so I thought of appearing here. And the last, I think, difference is about the results. You get early results in CBT, and in computer based it takes around 13 days.
You said the
I
other
mean,
one.
sorry, in paper based, it takes around 13 days.
Yeah,
But that's okay.
Yeah, in paper-based, it's a little longer, and in case of your computer-delivered test,
Right.
within 3 to 5 days that you get your results.
3
It's
to
pretty
5 days.
instantaneous. It depends upon your requirement. If you want your results to be there as soon as possible because some deadline is approaching, in that case, of course, you should be going with the computer-delivered test. Otherwise, paper-based should be fine.
Right.
Right? Okay. Any other pros and cons? Any major thing apart from this that you faced in your paper-based test or computer-delivered test?
Computer delivered, actually there's a little bit problem also with the environment of the hall. When it comes to paper based test, you may face a little bit of distractions because there are people sitting, like it's a hall kind of a place, banquet hall type of place, wherein there are around 50 to 60 students accommodated in that place, and there are 3-4 exam I would say proctors who take care of the
invigilators.
invigilator type people. So yeah, matlab, I mean, what happens there is that you sometimes get distracted while writing, but all you have to focus there is on the exam. So you don't face these difficulties in computer based also. So it completely depends on the person to person. If you get distracted very easily, I would say concentrate on CBT because you just have a system there and you cannot see anyone around.
Yeah.
And you just
so you have
have
your
to
own
be
space there. It's like a cabin.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
So these are the basic differences, nothing more than that.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for all these details. Before we end this meeting, do you want to share something with the students? Any generic tips, any strategies, anything that you want to talk about?
I would really tell everyone who's appearing for IELTS to firstly just clear the concepts and understand the technicalities that an IELTS exam have. Don't think that if you know English, you will be able to crack it. That is a myth, trust me. Unless and until you have those strategies in your hand, unless and until you know where you're lacking, you won't be able to fetch the desired result. So it's better to, always get a feedback on your writings, because I feel that 60% of the people, they lack there in writing. I have heard so many people saying that I'm stuck on 6 and 6.5, and the desired result is obviously 7. So you need to focus there. Secondly, the rest of the things are easy, and it depends on the candidate itself. But again, they have technicalities, they have certain things which may make things easy for you. So it's better to, practice yourself, and it's better to, go for a professional guidance rather than thinking that, okay, I'll do it myself. This is just IELTS, I'll crack it. It is a 15,000 exam. So I believe if you're investing 15,000 once, it's better to invest 10,000 rupees for your guidance, or less than that also. And you will be able to achieve your desired result in just one go. Trust me.
It was lovely hearing you. I've been smiling all this while. I'm not sure if you've been noticing, but it's like coming from within. I mean, you're so happy and you're so cheerful right now. And also the strategies that you've been sharing, they make so much of sense. So I can relate. I mean, these are the things that I tell students, and I'm hearing it from a student right now. So it's kind of bringing a smile on my face. So thank you so much for understanding. And yes, as she said, if you know English and if you're good at it, it's one thing, and it will definitely facilitate in getting better scores. But knowing what the examiner is looking for, especially in your subjective part of your IELTS test, which is your writing and speaking, is really important. If you're not sure about the parameters on which the IELTS examiner is evaluating you, like lexical resource, cohesion, coherence, task response, or for that matter grammar as well, if you're not aware of these things, you will ignore them. And that does not mean that your English is not good. You probably have the best of spoken English skills. You have a great, you're a great communicator. That's all fine. But the examiner is grading you on these 4 factors. And if you're not providing them with those 4 factors, then of course you'll not be able to cross that 7 barrier here. And the same rule applies for your speaking as well. So please try and understand that if you're not scoring well in your IELTS, it does not mean that you don't have a good English, a good command over the English language. That's not the case. Please don't confuse these things. It's just that the grading criteria is a little different, and you have to just give the examiner what they're looking for in your writing as well as your speaking. I'm not talking about listening and reading right now, because those are objective in nature. There's no subjective angle, and whatever you write there, it's either right or wrong. But in case of your writing and speaking, there's a lot of subjectivity. There's no correct answer or there's no incorrect answer. They'll just grade you on these 4 factors. So keep that thing in mind and don't get demoralized if you are not able to score well in your first, second, or third attempt. We have a live example with us right now. She's taken it 6 times, and in the 6th time, she has scored a brilliant score. I would like to repeat the scores because I'm really happy with those. So listening, it was 8.5, reading a perfect 9, writing a straight jump from 6 in all the 5 attempts to 7.5 in the 6th attempt, and speaking was again 8, which makes it overall 8.5. I'm really, really happy for you. All the very best for your future, and congratulations on this brilliant, brilliant score. And thank you so much for sparing your time. I've had the best interview right now. I've been so happy throughout. So thank you so much, and take care. If you need any help with your immigration process, with the PR filing and all of that, we are here to help you out. And stay in touch. Whenever you need any help, please let us know.
Thank you so much. I mean, I cannot thank Prepev more. Trust me. Seriously, I cannot thank you guys more than this. Seriously. I mean, I have got the best thing. I mean, trust me, I have been waiting for this result for 2 years. And finally, I got what I wanted. Only by just, trust me, if my share of hard work is 100%, I would say it's the desired result is actually 50% yours and then 50% mine.
Oh my God, really humbled, really humbled. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. See, the credit is yours, your perseverance, your patience, your consistency. I have been saying that all this while, that you have been patient with this. People give up after the second attempt, after the third attempt. They change their career
Okay.
paths. They decide not to leave India. So you have been
Hmm.
persistent, and consistency always pays off. So uh,
I
it's 100% your achievement, I would say. We were just facilitators here. We just gave you the direction, we guided you, you followed the path, and that's what matters. So thank you so much. Really, really humbled. And all the best again, Palak. Stay in touch, and thank you
thank
so
you
much
so
for
much.
sparing time today.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot.